even with non-shuffled overworld, but we'll see how it plays out here.
And here we go. We do have non-shuffled Stark Cave and non-shuffled sword. Now, the important thing to note here with the wood sword is that there is a candle next to the wood sword, which means now you will find candles in any Take Any One You Choose cave, as well as the candle shop. So it'll be interesting to see whether or not these guys pick one up from the Take Any One, or if they just choose to wait for a cave to buy one of the blue candles.
Yes, and both of them making the wise choice. They scroll over to 3 and find that it is the second quest cave, and that it is a shop, which is a pretty heavy indicator that we have got a vanilla second quest overworld.
That would be my first indication. You never know. Let's see what happens specifically at like the vanilla first quest level 2 spot. That's another very good indicator. Or that bomb hole in the southwest in the Dead Woods. That's always another good indicator. Go ahead.
I was just say, Saver is just beelining it for this Armos, and this if it is a vanilla overworld, this will be level 3, and in fact, it is level 3. So it looks like we have got a vanilla second quest overworld, and it does look like we've got vanilla shapes right off the bat as well.
And based on what I was looking at on the overworld, I think we have a 0 HP seed. Ladies and gentlemen, buckle in. This is going to be one quick race. I have a hunch.
For sure. Obviously the stipulation with the vanilla second quest overworld is now that these racers have to find the ladder, the recorder, the power bracelet, and the raft in order to access all of the dungeons on the map. But with the original dungeon shapes, they know what they're looking for. We do, however, not have drops are shuffled inside the dungeons. What that means is that Triforce was not sitting in its original room, which means that they can now be available in any room in the dungeon, which actually makes it a little bit harder, as they're going to need to kill rooms now in order to try to locate the Triforces.
Something else that is a little interesting to note here as we're going through, these guys have killed a bunch of red darknets so far, and I haven't seen a bomb drop yet. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean anything. That doesn't necessarily mean that bomb drops are shuffled. It just kind of merely indicates they could be.
Here's another really interesting thing. Rooms are not shuffled in the dungeons. They are vanilla dungeons completely. Enemies are shuffled inside the rooms, but the rooms are in their vanilla locations. This is going to be a big deal for Saber.
Yeah, this is going to be a really, really quick seed for Saver. I have a hunch, at least what we're looking at right now. We did note go ahead.
A raft in 3 as well.
So let's see. Let's see what happens. I would imagine Saver's for to level 4. If the ladder is in level 4, then we really have a vanilla, except for the 0 HP. Now, the one thing that you should note... Oh, which Rock dropped that? Was that the red one or the blue one?
I unfortunately did not see.
Anyways, I'm sure that most of you have noticed that Matrick is playing with something that doesn't look like anything from the Zelda universe. He is actually playing with the Legacy of the Wizard set, and he is playing as... I hope I get this right. Roas, I think?
That sounds correct. Yeah, buckle in, folks. This seed is going to be ridiculously fast, because this is basically 80%, and there's a banana on the floor.
Uh-oh, this really does look like it is completely, totally vanilla. As far as the dungeons go, as far as the map goes, this is good. This is probably the most vanilla I've seen, except for the 0 HP. I don't know about you, Genos. Is this about the most vanilla you've seen so far?
Yes, I mean, there's this 0 HP, and again, drops rooms are shuffled, which is the main difference here, but every room is in its normal place, so they should know exactly where to go in the dungeon. There's no searching for the items, and then once you find the compass, you're done. So it's crazy.
Yeah, and I think Matrick is about to find what should be the ladder.
Yeah,
it's the ladder.
Goodness. This is great.
So, basically, the only question we have left now is, do we have Boomstick? Do we have the Boomstick instead of the book that gives you fire?
That's a great question. I don't think we do, because we would have seen a book in that very first cave that they went to, and it was a shield.
So yeah, we probably don't have Boomstick then. This is going to be fun. This is going to be fun to watch them just absolutely shred these dungeons.
Like, this is only the second time that we've had items in their original locations in dungeons as well. So getting non-shuffled dungeon rooms, basically getting a vanilla dungeon minus the drops, has not happened yet. And again, outside of trying to figure out where that Triforce is, they don't need to guess where the items are, because they know where every item is and what every item is. They're not going to look in 8 for an item. They're not going to get 7's item. You know, they're not going to get the wad and the 6 if there's no Boomstick, which there's not. I mean, this is just crazy.
Yeah, this is easily going to be the craziest seed we've.
So it looks like Saver's going to make his way to level 4 now and pick up that ladder, while Matrick makes his way to level 1. So basically just flipping places here. So yeah, just buckle up and enjoy the ride, because this is going to be an extremely fast seed. Basically, the only thing here that's going to make any major time difference is who gets lucky enough to find the Triforce first, because they're not going to search dungeons for items they don't need. They're not going to search 2 because they don't want the blue boomerang. They're not going to search 6 unless they really want the wand, which I don't think they do. They don't need the red candle out of 7. They probably won't need the any key out of 8, but if they do, they know where to get it, and they definitely don't want the book. So, you know, they're just going to beeline for the Triforces and make their way to level 9.
Absolutely. Yeah. Now, the only question is going to be whether or not Ganon is required in this seed. That's really going to be the question. Is Ganon required? And if he is, does one try to look for Zelda and the other try to go for Ganon, or do they both go for Zelda right away? That's going to be the interesting thing when we hit level 9.
Yeah, they will know that the silver arrows are in level 9, so that won't be a problem. And they'll actually know where the silver arrows are too. So again, the question is going to be, I think you have to kill Ganon, because they are going to be in their original rooms. And so I say that. It is possible that they get shuffled out. It's an interesting concept, because it depends on how the flags work, but they probably need to get silver arrows, because I think the only way to get to Zelda is through Ganon.
Interesting. Yeah, that'll be an interesting mechanic to see what the heck happens there. Just to give you an idea how ridiculously quick this seed is, we have 6 total Triforce pickups, 3 on each side, and we are not even 10 minutes into this match.
Yeah, I'm assuming that they're both going to head up to the Power Bracelet location to pick that up, to head to level 5 to get the recorder, as that will be the next major thing. The other kind of wrench in the gears here is the shuffled drop groups. It seems like we have got non-normal groups for that, so trying to figure out what drops bombs that will also play a part in this, as Saver is trying to find those as we speak.
And it looks like Matrick is making his way over to Death Mountain to probably get what we assume to be the Power Bracelet, and...
Oh, it's shuffled!
It's shuffled! Interesting.
Wow. That means that it should be the Lost Hills Armos, I believe.
Oh, we haven't seen the Lost Hills, and we haven't seen either.
Well, just based off of the fact that it said the secret is at the end, in the dead end of the tree, they swap places, which means that it should be the Lost Hills Armos that contains the Power Bracelet.
There you go. And it looks like the secrets are not shuffled either. It looks like we have our standard 10, 30, 100.
I think Saver forgetting that he's going to need the recorder to open up level 2.
Matrick, I think, bombed the wrong hole for level 7.
Yes, indeed. So interesting diversion of paths here, where Matrix heading to level 7, and I believe that once the power bracelet's picked up here by Saver, he's going to make his way to level 5 with that recorder, and then make his way to level 2.
I think that's a perfect. Question is, though, is he going to check the Armos, or is he going to assume the Armos is over the fountain?
It's a tough call. I think he's going to pick up some 100 secrets on the way here.
Wonder what the play here, maybe to buy Blue Ring?
Well, I guess the 100 secrets over actually in the Dead Wood. I'm not quite sure what he's doing. If he scrolls over to 5, he's not going to be able to do anything there either. Maybe looking to make a candle purchase. I'm not sure.
Maybe I think he's got to be going over to level 7.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, that's the play. Unfortunately, he does not know that the Armos item is not in the graveyard, so a little bit of an advantage for Matrix there, but he's going to have to go around anyways to get there, and I think Matrix is going to check the white sword item.
And to answer the question in chat, Matrix is Roas from Legacy of the Wizard. This is a Legacy of the Wizard custom set. Yep, we do have white sword at white sword.
Yeah, and Saber going to get the bad news here that there's not a power bracelet. So, unfortunately, going to have to go back across the world and do some scrolling to get over to where that item is. And that hint, again, should clue him in to where it is on the overworld map.
Now, did Matrix get the Triforce out of 7 super quick, or did he bail out for some reason?
I didn't see him get the Triforce, but that doesn't mean that I missed it.
I didn't. CrystalSaver's character is Zelda, except just with a swapped color palette.
Yes, he is Cotton Candy Zelda, as we like to call it. And Error72 in chat pointing out that he bailed. Probably a wise choice, I guess. I mean, you have other dungeons that you can do before 7, and you got to excavate that, and it can be a little bit monotonous.
So I think right now they're building up some rupees to go purchase at least Matrix rupees for a blue candle, maybe.
Yeah, they do need to. Well, I mean, they have access to a take any up in the Dead Woods, or if they want to get the recorder in level 5, they have access to 2 others that way. So, Matrix is going to locate the power bracelet first, most likely, as he should be up to the Lost Hills before Saber is.
And chat bringing up a good point. Maybe he got bait blocked, because level 7 does have the bait block.
That is true. If you don't have the Triforce before the bait block, you will not be able to access the majority of that level, so that is very true.
And good call on the Lost Hills Armos. That Lost Hills Armos absolutely did contain the power bracelet, so I would imagine Matrix will make his way to level 5 rather quickly.
Yeah, the recorder unlocks the majority of the seed. It gives you access to level 6, level 2, and if they really wanted, 2 different heart containers. So, kind of the wise decision here. And Matrix, I think, forgetting that level 5 is... He's going to pick up a candle here, I think. Yeah,
yep,
good call.
I think that's his play. Yep.
I mean, the other option is, of course, you can buy bait and then get the red candle out of 7 on your way through, because you're going to have to probably walk by that anyways. So there's a couple of different options for that if you wanted to save your money on the candle and instead buy bait.
It all depends, too, where the Triforce is, though. The Triforce could be in one end that's level 7 and the red the other end.
That is very true. Yep. Unfortunately, the letter not in that cave in second quest. It is up on Death Mountain.
Now, interesting to point out here that Saver is keyless at this point, which may come into play, possibly.
Yeah, it is possible. I think that's why he was wanting to go to level 2, because that gives him access to some early keys, but we will see if he's able to complete level 5 without having any here.
Matrix looks like he's making his way over to the Take Anyone. It'll be interesting to see if he takes a heart or a potion at this point.
You'd have to think a potion's the call you would want to make, but or heart.
Heart. Well, that's the first one we've seen, though, either one of them go to. So I'm wondering if they're going to make it at least Matrix is going to make it a point to maybe get 3 of them and then a potion. Maybe.
That's a possibility. It's also very interesting that, again, considering that he might need bait, that he spent the money there instead of just taking a candle from the Taken, because now he's got to go collect more secrets, which takes more time. And we know the large secret is all the way across in the Dead Woods. So just an interesting call on his part to buy the candle and then take a heart versus taking a candle out of the Taken cave.
Now, it looks like he's making his way over to level 8. Now, I'm not as well versed in this, and I think you might. What's the mechanic here that flips level 7 and level 8? Because this is normally vanilla. This is normally level 7 in Second Quest.
Yeah, basically what they did is they just flopped the dungeon numbers when they made Second Quest, but didn't do anything with the code. Okay. So level 8's Triforce, they decided, oh hey, let's call this level 7, and that's what it is. So in Randomizer, it goes off of the game code. So levels 2 and 3 are flip-flopped, levels 4 and 5 are flip-flopped, and levels 7 and 8 are flip-flopped.
There you go. As we just saw on CrystalSaver's side, him with a rather flawless ladder clip across that T room to grab a key. So all of a sudden he's gone from 0 keys to 5 keys. You think he knows what he's doing a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, even with the shuffle drop rooms, again, it's pretty easy to figure out that you're... Oh, there's the Triforce right away. So, yeah, I mean, crazy seed here. I love it. Like, this was the other option that I wanted to see outside of, the crazy stuff. Something like this... especially with Saber playing, who again has voiced very heavily that he wants something like this. It's just really cool to see.
Yeah, just to give everybody in chat an idea, as we've mentioned before, CrystalSaver, as I mentioned at the outset, CrystalSaver did win the first Zelda 1 randomizer tournament when the dungeons weren't randomized. And the first match in this tournament, his first match was against Amazing Ampharos, and it was randomized shapes, and he unfortunately did lose in that first matchup to Amazing Ampharos. But now that he's just on a roll right now, he's in his element. And Matrick is a very good player in his own right, but this I don't know.
Yeah, Matrick unfortunately just getting some, what I would say is unfortunate matchups with specific seed flags being on. He's, like you said, he's an extremely talented player. He's just been getting stuck up against extremely talented players who get the kind of seeds that they thrive in, and makes it really difficult to beat people when they're in a seed that's kind of like their elemental seed.
Right. And you can kind of make that argument certainly in the first seed when Matrick, who is a great player, lost to Dragondark, who is another very talented player. And keep in mind that in these Swiss rounds, in rounds 1, 2, and 3, and 4, you are randomized in your group. So these two could have had opponents that weren't each other, but they got stuck together. And Matrick, unfortunately, has had to gone through Dragondark and CrystalSaver to get to the record he's going to wind up at.
Yeah, and a quick Triforce in level 8 from Matrick as well, so not difficult to find, and does pick up the any key in the process, so he's not going to need to worry about keys anymore either. I think Saber's probably got it in his head that he's only going to need 3 keys for level 9, which, again, if things play out like they should, where dungeon rooms aren't shuffled, I don't believe Zelda and Ganon are going to be out of the rooms. Now, I could be wrong, because I don't know that we've ever had a case specifically like this, but I'm pretty sure that even if Ganon wasn't forced, you would still have to kill Ganon in that case, because the only access to Zelda's room would be through Ganon.
Right. That is a very, very, very good point. Although, wouldn't it be funny if they get into Ganon's room and there's an open to his north? I don't know if that would happen, though.
Oh, Saber getting wall mastered. Oh, no.
Oh!
That's like the most embarrassing thing in the world to have happen. I've had it happen. It's just like, no! And then I walked into the room and I did it again, and I'm like, I'm just done.
But maybe this might be good fortune, because he was very deep in level 7. Maybe the Triforce was super early.
Yeah, he's going to check all the rooms available here before the meat block and see if he can find the Triforce. I don't think that Matrick dug this heavy inside level 7, so we'll see how this goes.
No, Matrick absolutely did not dig this heavy. He only got in a few rooms.
And meanwhile, Matrick is making his way to that recorder, and he's starting to creep up on Saber here. And Saber making the wise choice here, just going to up an A. I think going to head over to level 2 and buy some bait as well on the way.
I would think. Because I think he's definitely under the impression at this point that he is bait blocked out of level 7. Now, it'll be interesting to see if Matrick goes back to pick up some bait before delving back into level 7. That'll be an interesting play. That might, for as tight as this race is, something as simple as whether or not he buys bait on the way into level 7 could provide the final difference in this seed. We never know.
Yeah, and he's got to find some money as well, which again, he should know where the burn bush is for the singular large secret second quest, but it's out of the way. It's clear over in the Deadwoods. He's already done level 3, and I guess you could make your way to level 6 and you can make the argument for that, but it's just very much out of the way. Saber does pick up a candle. It looks like he's going to head to level 8 next, and probably level 2 as well, and then just save level 7 for after he can buy meat.
So we have CrystalSaver entering level 8 now, and Metric looking through level 5. I believe he should be stumbling upon that Triforce relatively soon.
Yeah, it's on the way to the normal boss room, so he's going to have to head up the spine. Actually, it's this room right here, I'm sorry.
Yep,
so yeah, he's
with the Gibdos. Well, whatever the heck these are from Legacy of the Wizard, but, these Gibdos.
Yeah. Man, this is so close.
This really is close. It is close, and boy, is it fast.
Yeah, and this quick Triforce here for Saber, he's not even going to take the time to get the any key. And again, I don't say that I blame him, because I'm pretty sure he's going to know, okay, well, I need to have 3 keys, and he's going to know that you can get some keys in level 9 as well. So, it's, well, maybe he's going to go get the book. Is he going to do Lizzie %?
Well, was this the any key, or was this...
No, this is the book.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, items are in their original locations in the staircases. So while the room drops for the room drops for 2 and 1 will be shuffled on the ground, the actual staircase items will not be. So it does take that Triforce, and he's just going to leave. I don't see him going back for that key.
And it looks like Matrick is heading his way over to level 6. That's a little bit of an interesting call to me. I would, in routing terms, I would probably leave level 6 to last, because it is probably the closest to level 9.
Yeah, but you have the recorder, and no matter what,
That's
you can
true.
whistle to 6.
That is true.
So, it's 6 in one, and half dozen in the other. But little routing things like this can make a difference. I mean, if you're spending that extra 30 or 40 seconds on the overworld in a race like this, that could be the difference.
And you never know where the whistle's going to send you. Is it going to send you to second quest level 6, or is it going to send you to first quest level 6? Is it going to send you to first quest level 8 or second quest level 8? There's a whole bunch of differences in there.
I'm pretty sure this is locked to, since it's second quest overworld, no matter what, it's going to be the original dungeon locations.
Oh, there you go.
Because there is no way, there was never programmed in the game to even whistle to second quest locations. So, so it will always be first quest in this case. So it will take him to the vanilla level 6 location for first quest. And I think somebody was saying, Demon321 in the chat about him not taking the key. And the reason why that is because he knows he's going to get some keys here in level 2. And again, if level 9 plays out the way that it should, he will only need 3 keys to make it to Ganon, as it is going to be the exact same route as you would take in the any %. Oh, and there's a possible Goma block. Oh my goodness! The tides!
Well, that's interesting. Alright, so Matrick right now, I think, is working under the assumption he is Goma blocked from the Triforce.
Yeah, he's going to go check those right rooms, which is smart. But keep this in mind that we might need bait and arrows. And if that's the case, money is going to be a big deal.
Yeah. So then it's going to be a case of who picks up that 100 secret first, and, who picks up the other stuff first. And is Saver going to get some meat? Is that what he's looking for?
That's what it looks like. As Metric clearing out these rooms, and probably looking for a compass. I mean, obviously, you cannot get the Triforce in a dark room. It is not possible for that to happen in Randomizer. There will never be a heart or a Triforce in a dark room. He does find the compass, and it is up the spine, but he's trying to see if he can get around here, and it is, in fact, bow blocked.
Yeah, we are bow blocked out of level 6. That's all right. So at least the seat has a little bit of fight back to it now.
So it's important to note that Saver did get the large secret, and it's ginormous. He's up to 185 rupees after buying the meat. So that is a gigantic secret.
Oh,
he's going to find the same thing.
I didn't write. What was that? I didn't check. I didn't see the large secret. Was it more than 100?
No, it had to be 100. He didn't buy meat.
Oh, that's right. He didn't. That's right.
That's really confusing why he chose not to buy meat.
Well, Sconimus, Saver does not know that arrows are required yet. And I don't think it's proven that bait's required. I think we're just kind of working under that assumption right this second.
Yeah, and you know, the other important thing here is that Saver's got to use keys to check all these rooms in 6. So if he doesn't get some extra key drops, he may be in trouble. I think he's going to be okay, but that's just something to keep in mind. Matrick doesn't have to worry about that. He can just check all those key door rooms with no problem. However, Saber should find the compass, which is going to clue him into, well, I actually have a bow block here. This sucks.
Yep, he's certainly going to discover that bait block a little quicker than Matrick did. So it looks like Matrick is headed up to level 2, where that triangle was extraordinarily quick to grab.
Yeah, so Saber, I think, immediately noticing. So I'm pretty sure this is what he's going to take. What he's going to do. He's probably going to whistle. He's going to whistle back to level 3 or 4, or just up an A, one of the two. And he's going to go make the normal routine, which obviously he's not going to go anywhere on this screen because it's going to open up 6. And he's just going to go buy the bait and arrows, or he buy them in vanilla, and probably come back to 6 and then head over to 7.
That's probably the plan. That makes perfect sense.
Or he's going to do something completely different and prove me totally wrong. So, you know what? I don't know anything. Saber knows best.
Okay. So, meanwhile, we'll watch Matrick fight through level 2. I think he's 1 or 2 rooms from the Triforce at this point. This should be the heart container, which he will take. Be interesting to see if either one of them get to 12 hearts. If either one of them gets to 12 hearts, if either one of them makes a play for Magic Sword. Given how out of the way it is, though, I don't see it happening.
Yeah, he is going for the cheap meat here, which is important to note.
Yep.
He did have enough money to buy the expensive meat and the arrows, but it looks like he went to go buy the cheap meat purposefully, and then he's going to go buy arrows. So I forgot it was Second Quest Overworld, so that does shuffle where that meat shop was. And he does whistle right back. You know, he whistles to 5, so he's just going to go straight to 7 and finish that up, and then probably pick up the arrow shop. There's an arrow shop over by level 6 already.
Oh, there you go.
So, smart routing choice here. I mean, obviously not what I would have done because I said something different, but this works just as well. And again, this just comes down to, again, Saver is the only guy in the world that has a sub-30 time using a white sword in the vanilla game. You'll never see the VOD because he deleted it, but I have seen it. It is in fact true. The guy is crazy. He's done a ridiculous amount of time routing, so he intimately knows the overworld for both first and second quest.
Yeah, So, and is Matrick going? Matrick looks like he's going to buy the cheap meat.
Yeah, smart move on his part. So he's going to do the same thing Saber's doing here. The difference is he's going to have to stop by the Deadwoods to pick up that 100 secret before he can actually get, or he might just be doing that right now and just go to 6 and then to 7.
Turn out one room north of the Grumble Grumble was a ladder block anyways. So that was interesting, even though they already had the ladder. But it's just, always interesting how these rooms sometimes play out.
Well, that room is normally there. It's just normally dark.
Okay. There you go.
That is the map room that is in vanilla, but the map not there. It's kind of interesting that it wasn't dark in this case. But again, with the drops being shuffled, I don't know, that's kind of interesting that it wasn't dark, because the rooms are normal, so maybe it has to do with the map being in the room, I don't know.
So bosses here do have normal HP off that augmented 6 hits.
Matrick does pick up that 100 secret, and he's going to run over, get the fairy fountain, and then go pick up the arrows from the shop over by level 3. And Saber should know that this is the red candle, so no need to take the time to check it.
Gets a Dig Dogger hug for his troubles.
Oh man, what if the Triforce is in its original room? That'd be so great. Keys gonna become a factor here.
There we go.
finds the compass. Fantastic.
Yep. Now it's just a matter. I don't think he can bomb down there. I think does he have to take the transport staircase to get there, or can he get over there from?
You've got to go down and around because the
Okay.
because of the way that the level works. I'm pretty sure. Is that? That's not the Dig Dugger room. That's the one to the left of the Dig Dugger, or right of the Dig Dugger room. I'm sorry.
What is Matrick back in level 4 for?
Triforce.
He never got the Triforce.
I thought he got the Triforce.
I thought he got the
not.
Triforce. Whoops.
Yeah, so again, Saver understanding the dungeons knows that he needs to turn around and doesn't need to go take a staircase. I mean, it's, again, it's as vanilla of a dungeon as you can get for the most part, and it really plays to his strengths because of that.
And so the meat wasn't required then?
In this case, no, it was not.
No, it was not. Interesting.
But, you know, it's just one of those things that's kind of the forgotten room in level 7. Because you do have to bomb, and, you know, with normal rooms like that, you don't go there in the any % route, right? So, again, it's a forgotten room. It doesn't exist in level 7 in a lot of people's minds, so
Right.
Interesting place for that to be. But, again, Saver knowing that you need to go down to bomb into that is a big deal.
Okay, so Saver picking up his arrows and is going to go into level 6, take care of that Goma relatively quickly. I would imagine pick up another 4-pack of bombs to be safe. He's going to take care of that Goma and then off to level 9 where the hunt begins.
Yeah, and he's got the 4 keys for it. So again, we'll see how the rooms play out. You know, I'd have to do a specifically run through a seed with the flag set to know for sure, or ask Fred, who may or may not know what happens. But I'm pretty sure that if the flag for randomizing dungeon rooms or shuffling dungeon rooms is off, that it is impossible for the flag for shuffling Ganon and Zelda to be on.
I think you're probably right with that.
But we do have shuffled enemies, so maybe that's not true. Maybe Zelda can just not be in her room, and you can walk up and you can find her if Ganon's not forced. It'll be interesting to see what happens here.
Definitely. And we're getting ever so closer to there, because I think Saver's, 4 rooms away from getting it?
Mm-hmm. I mean, imagine, though, if it in fact is that way, and she is shuffled out of her room, all of a sudden keys actually become a factor. I mean, there are a couple of key drops that he can find pretty quickly in level 9, but all of a sudden you have to know the intricacies of level 9 and how the staircases and the rooms work, which a lot of people don't know.
Nope. I can tell you I don't know them. I don't know the intricacies of them. Absolutely not.
I know, like, Lack, and I think Unos do because they've done extreme percent, but if you don't know that, you know, you can end up blowing keys and things like that and not knowing the drop rooms in 9, because I have no idea what drops what in level 9. Outside of the very first room that you walk into with the likes and stuff has got a key, and outside of that, you don't care.
Right. So it'll be interesting to see if Saver does do any farming, just in case he does need extra keys more than the 3 that's in the standard any % route.
Yeah, and Matrick making his way up here, he's going to find that compass as well, which will be nice for him. Just need to backtrack to pick up that Triforce, but he's still got to make his way to level 6, and he's still got to get. I think he's already bought arrows, so that's not a big deal. But
He's already bought his arrows.
Just have to get back to level 6. So at this point, a couple of minutes behind Saver, which is deadly. You know, especially if it's vanilla 9. I don't think Matrick has a chance at all, because Saver is just going to blow through it.
You know, I was just thinking that just looking at the current times right now, it looks like Matrick is going to sub 45 this, and he could lose by 5 minutes.
Yeah.
It's looking like Saver could very well sub 40 this. This is ridiculous how quickly these guys are going.
Yeah, this is, again... Oh, and Saver is going to just do the check, just to make sure. Very smart. But this is a lot like the Unos chest jerk match, right? Where chest jerk put up this 40-minute time, which is absurd, but Unos put up a 30:04. Like, it's just, you get these guys that are so good at the game in a seed like this, and it's just, you literally cannot make a mistake in routing. You can't die. You can't do anything, because they're just going to run away with it. But Matrick chooses to go the up and A route, which is probably about the same time, perhaps, except he's got to re-clear these rooms, so I think Saber's route may have been faster. It's difficult to tell.
Yeah, it is hard to tell, but he should be able to bomb to the right here and then get it. There we go.
I think Saber has kind of made the decision to go where things normally are, which is smart.
Yeah, it definitely looks like he's taking the any percent route, which means he should bomb left here, I believe. That should be... Yep, there we go. He is definitely taking the any percent route. Ooh, Lakes in this room instead of Wizrobes is a nice change of pace.
Very much so. Yes, and no Patra 1, and hopefully no Patra 2 or no Patra 3. How nice would that be? Just making our merry way towards Ganon and not having to deal with any Likes. But that room is nasty. That's normally goals. We pop our head out, get shot at by 3 Wizrobe beams, and then a Patra in the room right after. Okay, never mind.
Alright, so this is a little bit more difficult, but this... I don't know, would you rather clip into a Patra room, or would you rather clip with Wizrobes breathing down your neck?
Oh, the pause strats are so real. He is so good at using pause buffers in order to navigate through rooms, which is why he is the only person to ever have done a game damageless. He has beat this game without ever taking a lick of damage. It is unreal, and I think it was in about an hour and a half. So, again, just showcasing his different sets of skills that not a lot of other people have.
This room is fairly vanilla, though, if I recall.
It's got bubbles, which aren't normally there. And the souls in the River Sea. I love it. Yeah, that reverse clip is actually going to be entirely much more difficult due to the fact that there are 3 bubbles in that room now as well.
Yeah, that's going to be.
And silver arrows for Saber, so, you know, just, again, at this point, I think the right play is you make your way to where Vanilla Ganon and Zelda are, and hope for the best, and if not, you take your licks at that point and decide what you want to do.
Meanwhile, Matrick finishing out his Triforce, picking up level 6, so he's going to come off to level 9, roughly 3 to 4 minutes behind Saber, but that's not going to... That's not looking good for him.
Yeah, it's just rough. Unfortunately, there was a couple of routing decisions and finding... I mean, he found the arrow block first, too. He just made kind of an odd routing choice with it, and I think it cost him a little bit of time. That, and again, Saber's just extremely efficient when it comes to these levels.
Saber burning through some of his arrows to get rid of those gels.
Yeah, Saber again, with his pause strats, he is extremely good with them. So, okay, there's Ganon. Okay, so they are shuffled.
Yep.
Okay, so this changes the makeup of the game entirely, because now Zelda can, in fact, be anywhere, and she is not in her room. So, this does, in fact, prove that even if you have vanilla rooms, that they can be shuffled out. So this actually gives Matrick a chance. And I'm not... sure. Okay, we lost Saber. Ganon too strong. Did he choose to bomb out? I don't know. It's interesting. It's interesting. Did he kill Ganon or not? We'll never know.
We'll never know.
The ultimate pause buffer. As Matrick makes his way in, so... I don't know. I don't know if he killed him or not.
I don't know.
This is interesting.
But you gotta figure, though, if maybe was Ganon 0 HP?
I don't know, because I didn't see him attack. I mean, he could have been, but I think that there was not enough time involved.
Ooh.
Oh man, that is nasty. Again, I would rather have Patra. Jeez.
Yeah.
He even pause buffered that. There wasn't enough time. That's just how stupid that the Wizrobes can be in these rooms like that. Alright, so here's Ganon's original room.
Ganon's room.
Cutland Molas. Oh no.
So this level 9 is shuffled, as far as the room contents.
Yeah, and Ganon and Zelda are also shuffled, which is Brutal. He's going to check her room, and I don't think he's going to find her.
I don't think so. No.
He finds a handful of Wizrobes.
That's always fun. Yeah, instead of Zelda, Wizrobes. Yeah, same difference, right?
So this is anybody's game.
It really is, especially if Ganon is not required. If Ganon is not required, we've got a race here, ladies and gentlemen. We definitely have a race.
Yeah, and Matrick making his way over to the red ring, very first thing. So he's going to have a major defense upgrade here. Oh, but it's guarded by a Patra. Oh, no.
Well, at least the Patra is not going to be too bad, because those little the orbiters... Oh, no! Saver dies!
Maybe that's a good thing. Maybe. You take the left path at this point and see what's going on. I really don't know if he killed Ganon, though. It's bothering me.
It's bothering me, too. Well, the only way he could have killed Ganon is if it was a 0 HP Ganon. That's the only way he could have killed it.
I think what he probably did is he took a stab, saw that it wasn't 0 HP, and left. I don't think there was enough time for him to have shot, and he bombed out of the room. I don't think he would have taken the time to bomb out of that room if he was actually fighting Ganon.
Matrick takes another death, but I don't think that's a bad thing. I think he was just back to the start anyways. I don't know why he didn't up A after getting the ring.
An interesting choice that Saber's not exploring any other rooms here, so... he could have gone down, and there's access to other rooms that make a loop, and he's not checking those rooms. Looks like he's going to backtrack, and he's going to bomb down here, which normally is the compass room, but it's shuffled this time.
Oh, those pause buffers. Oof. Oh, is this the compass room?
That's normally the compass room, but yeah, the drops are shuffled, so he's not going to find the compass there.
Now, the question is, because I think there's a couple of different dark rooms in level 9, correct? And one of the dark rooms does drop a blue rupee, right? If I'm remembering correctly?
I believe so.
So I wonder if it's just maybe the other dark room? And also, now it's important to note, does this any key that Matrick picked up, does this any key now come into play?
It can. That's the thing. He does pick up the map, which is not the item he's looking for. He's going to make it the play for the red ring as well, which is smart. Defense upgrade will definitely help. But meanwhile, again, if Ganon's not forced, then Matrick can just run straight into her. We know she's not in her room, and Matrick is, I guess, taking the normal location to check first, but this right here, this staircase, when instead of going left, if you go down, it actually takes you in a loop, and you'll end up coming back in through the top via staircases and some other things. But there's 6 or 7 rooms there that you can check. So it's, again, Saber needs to be checking every room that he can find, unless, he's assuming that Ganon was required and is looking for a shutter door.
Right. Yeah,
but I don't think that's the case here.
Yeah, so to those that may be new to this game, the only way we can tell if Ganon is required is if these runners run into a room that has one and only one shutter, and that shutter does not open when all the enemies are killed. If that happens, we know that Ganon is required. Otherwise, we could get a surprise Zelda at any time.
And actually, Kababesh making a really good point. According to the randomizer code, and I had forgotten this, Ganon cannot be forced unless they're in their original rooms. Because of the way that the shutter doors work.
Interesting.
Ganon is not forced in this case, so she's somewhere, and you can just run into her.
Now, note on Matrick's side that he is out of bombs.
That's actually a big deal.
Yeah, slightly. Surprise, Matrick. There we go.
Saber does fight another key. I don't know. It's tough. Where do you go from here?
You start running around. You clear the map. You just start going.
I think up and A and go left. There's a circular. Basically, there's a circle of rooms that go around that very first staircase, and that's again 3 or 4 rooms, and you just start taking it quadrant by quadrant because each staircase that you take basically creates a loop around itself until you take the correct staircase.
Matrick fighting Ganon now. It is a 0 HP Ganon.
Okay, well then that is interesting. We'll see what happens. Like if he goes north, she doesn't. He's going to go to Zelda's room too. That's interesting. because going north from there actually blocks you out. It's single shutter doors, and you have to take, again, a loop to go back around. Oh man, this is intense.
This really is anybody's. The only advantage Saver has now is he has cleared a little bit more of level 9 than Matrick has. But otherwise, this is a wide open race. Absolutely wide open.
And Saber doing exactly what I was talking about there. He took the loop around the first staircase, and now he's going to go to the next one. And then from the spiral staircase, you can go south, and it takes you to Vyres. And basically, you just keep creating loops around, and that's the only way to explore level 9, and that's the way that it was intended, is you're going to loop around and keep going until you can figure out the correct staircase. I mean, they made it linear for you on purpose. But, you know, the question is, where the heck is it?
Where is the girl? Although I don't know what's... Well, in Saver's case, he's looking for Link, right? Because he is the girl. He's looking for Link.
That is correct.
I don't know what Matrick's looking for.
Oh, a compass!
We have a... Oh, this is huge.
Living in a tea room with Wizrobe stinks. Oh my goodness, and she's in the bottom left corner. What a crazy place!
She is tucked away.
That's crazy. I don't even know how you get over there.
I have no idea. I really have no idea. Although it definitely looks like Saver is making a beeline for something, so maybe he knows.
I mean, if you pop open a map, like, it's not illegal to pop open an NES.com map or NESmaps.com, and they will show you the staircases, but still, doing that on the fly is crazy.
It sure looks like Saver knows how to get there.
Left from Patra 2. There we go.
There we go.
Wow, what a crazy scene. It's basically like everything on a silver platter, and then, oh hey, have fun finding the girl.
And then all of a sudden, whoops! It's just yanked the rug out from underneath you.
Wow, what a crazy scene.
This is nuts. So is there a way left here? Does he have to go up and over? Yep, there we go.
It's just killing this room here.
And Ganon obviously not required, because he had to kill that room to get that shutter door to open. And ladies and gentlemen, get your GGs as CrystalSaver now rescues Link and finishes in first place in this race with a time of 47 minutes and 12 seconds.
Yeah, good game to Saver. What a scene. I mean, again, exactly what he was looking for. But then gets thrown, you know, the monkey wrench in level 9 with the change of where Ganon and Zelda are.
Yeah. Oof.
And RRT Tycoon pointing out that the sad thing is they both walked right by that room.
Yeah, they both did. You're absolutely right on that. And with that wonderful little chime, I believe we have CrystalSaver joining us.
Hello, hello.
Hello, congratulations, sir.
Thanks.
So, you got your wish until level 9.
That was so fun.
And Matrick finding the compass.
Yeah, 9 was like the fun part run. I think my worst execution was the overworld. Because I didn't realize like it was second quest, even though I should have, and I'm like, okay, where am I supposed to go? And my routing just kept going around in circles. I kept whistling to new spots and then returning back to like 2 screens before.
Yeah, and then the bow block in 6 was fantastic. That was another cool little thing to see through at you guys. For as literally vanilla as you could almost get. I mean, the fact that it was vanilla dungeons with unshuffled dungeon rooms and non-shuffled dungeon items is, like, the odds of that have been astronomical according to the stats. It's awesome.
Yeah, I've never seen it personally. Like in any race, even in nightly races yet.
I think there's been one other race where we had vanilla items and one other race where we had vanilla rooms, but they were not together. And I mean, we've had, I think we're nearing 66 races now and only had the one each, and then we get them both together. So I mean, the odds of that are so extremely low. I don't know. It was really fun to watch though. You guys were neck and neck, switching forth back in between dungeons. It just turns out that you as much as you're talking about your overworld routing, you actually routed it a little bit better than Natrick and saved a couple of minutes, buying the meat, and which turned out to not be needed, and then the arrows.
Yeah, that meat trail. Like, I was intent on full clearing level 7 first before the meat block, and then I died, and I'm like, forget it. So I decided to do something else, and then I'm thinking, well, no, my original idea was, let's go to 7 as the red candle, so I don't have to buy the red candle. And I completely forgot about the meat. Like, I thought he was going to be shuffled. I guess not.
If I can interrupt a second, Natrick has finished the race. He's finished in 2nd place with a time of 50 minutes and 9 seconds. And I delete his join in Discord.
You and me, Matrick, we're both cracking up on this seed.
That friggin' 9, dude!
Wasn't that great?
God.
We were like, we were talking about it in the commentary, and we're like, it could be just normal vanilla level 9 if you're great, but what if Ganon and Zelda are shuffled?
I didn't even think that was a possibility if the rooms weren't shuffled.
I go into the room with Ganon, and I'm like, oh, okay, that's weird. And I'm like, all right, I'm already committed. I'm just going to finish it. I get to the room, I'm like, no! No!
I did the same thing, then I tried to go backwards, and I died to the blue land molas.
And you both walked right by the girl. That's the best part.
Oh, man. What a seed.
That whole entire time I was thinking, you know what? If Zelda was right above Ganon, I would have lost. I was intent on like clearing stuff in the beginning and then moving on forward, as opposed to like clearing that last section because I died to the blue land mola. And I found the compass. Did you find it?
Yes, I did. That's why I decided. Like, I went up and I went all through that area there.
Yep.
And then I was like, okay, that didn't take me anywhere, so I went back, and then when I went through the first staircase, instead of going to the right again and exploring that way, I went down and found the compass, and then I was like, okay, I know exactly where that is. Just went back and retraced my steps, and then when I got there, I went, wait a minute, how come the door didn't... Oh, Ganon wasn't required even. Oh, man!
Yeah, Kababesh had made a good point that if you have vanilla rooms, that Ganon can never be forced if they're shuffled due to the fact that the doors are never changed. So if you had gone north from Ganon's room where he was actually at this time, you would have had a single-way shutter door.
That's what I was thinking. I was thinking that exact thing. That's why I wanted to check Zelda's room first. Otherwise, I'd have to loop back in the circle.
You know what's actually funny about that? That room with those gels that was blocking the door to Ganon?
Yeah.
I was praying to God a bomb dropped. I had no bombs. I used my last one to get into the silver arrow room.
Oh, jeez.
So, a bomb dropped off the gel in there, and then I just went, okay, cool, going north. As soon as I got it, I just went north. I didn't even think that was even a possibility. That's, oh man. As soon as it happened too, I went, no! And then I just started laughing, going, of all the things now.
Yeah, they're shuffled, right?
Yeah, then when I saw that you finished first, I just started laughing, and I went, okay, I know he did the same thing I did. There's no way he didn't. There's absolutely no way he didn't.
Yeah.
Well, you both went into 7. He cleared a little bit more, but both of you bought meat, and then both of you went up and found the compass room, and then went back to the Triforce. Both of you went into 6 and went, crap, I need arrows. And so, it's just, he was a little bit more efficient on the overworld than you were, Matrick, as far as buying some things which cost you a little bit of time. I think your 9 was actually probably a little bit faster because you didn't check as many rooms, but it's still a crazy close race. You guys were neck and neck. You did stop to get the Indie Key, which Saver did not do, so that was also a little bit more time.
That scared me a lot. I think I only had 4 keys going into 9, and I'm like, okay, I only need 3.
For it.
I was thinking about it. I'm like, let me at least save those 30 seconds, and I can whistle back if I need to. Well, yeah, I was running out of keys in 9.
After you go through the first staircase in 9, that room there, I got FU beamed, then I got tackled, and then I got bopped again. I was down to like half a heart. I said, screw it, I'm grabbing the red ring, let's go. Because at least this way, if I die, which I ended up dying after I got it, I said, at least on the second pass, I'll make it through no problem with 3 hearts. Like, I won't have a problem with that at that point. But yeah, I got blasted, and that's just changed my mind. I said, nope, we're getting the red ring. It's only a few rooms out of the way.
There's one thing that confused me. Was it possible for the items to be shuffled in the staircases?
I don't.
On this kind of seed.
I don't think so. I think, given the room layouts and everything, and given the drops seem to be mostly unshuffled, I don't think the items could have been shuffled out of their staircases.
Okay. Yeah, that's why I checked for the book. I'm like, maybe this is Anarchy.
I'm trying to think of the case where, because there have been times where they are shuffled, but I think the only way that that's possible is if actual rooms inside the dungeons are shuffled around, even if you have vanilla rooms. In that case, it could change, because like we've seen level 9, we ran into the reverse C room with even non-shuffled enemies, so it was the normal reverse C enemy set, and it ended up actually being a staircase versus the silver arrows. So I think for that to happen, it has to be shuffled rooms inside the dungeons, which you guys miraculously did not have.
That makes sense. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
You know, it was really crazy, because we're like, okay, you guys both scrolled over to 3 right away, which is awesome. It's a great choice, because that indicates to you whether or not it's what kind of quest you got. And the fact that it was a shop pretty much says right away that it's vanilla second quest overworld, because that's a shop there normally, and with the big shield. And so then you went straight up to level 3, which again is the smart play. And then we're like, wait, this is green. Wait, this is vanilla level 3. And then you found the raft in the room it's normally in, and I'm like, oh god. It's the Saver special.
I was watching as this went, and I went, okay, it's going to be like a speed run. Here I go. And then I went, wait a minute, no, that's not going to be it, because the places are in different locations. Okay, now I got to figure out how to do this on the fly.
Yeah, the Triforces being shuffled was like the one saving grace to not make this a complete clown fiesta, because otherwise it literally would have been vanilla speedrun and go with 0 HP enemies, which would have been freaking hilarious.
The Triforce in 7, when I grabbed the compass, I went, oh, okay, cool, it's in its normal spot. No, it was in one room south of it. So I went in the staircase and went, crap, up A.
Nice.
I completely forgot about that room, to be honest, that it existed.
For some reason, it took about 5 dungeons till it actually clicked in my head, hey, dude, the Triforces are actually shuffled. You should probably clear a couple more of these rooms. Because I was literally clearing it like it was a speedrun, only just surgically selecting rooms. And then by about the 4th dungeon, I went, wait a minute here.
Yeah, most of the Triforces were not difficult to find either, which is really nice. The 1 in 6 was easy, 7 was easy also. I mean, if you think about how level 7 can be, 8 was right there by start, which is crazy.
That was nice.
I mean, a lot of them were super easy to find, and it's just, I don't know. It was extremely fun to watch and extremely fun to commentate. I can't imagine how much fun it was to play it. Again,
I'll tell you what,
that to level 9, and you're like, why is Ganon here?
No, I wish, if I had a webcam, I guarantee you the look on my face when I walked into that room and he showed up was one of, what?
Right? That's kind of what we were doing. We're like, oh no, now she can literally be anywhere in the dungeon. And she's clear in the bottom corner, like right where you guys were at, and you're just like, let's go check everything else.
Hey dude, how are we supposed to know?
I believe, yeah, I would have done the same thing you guys did, believe me.
The thing that got me with that one is the room where you heard Ganon is the same room where you normally hear Ganon.
Yeah, that's right.
So I'm walking through, I'm like, Ganon. Oh, wait a minute. No, it's just in a normal spot. What the heck?
Nope. Well, guess what?
I was trying to build up a count to get like some fairies, and I'm like, okay, we're doing this. Take out the recorder.
Here's like the best part of that, right? So like, you've been using pause strats this entire time, and then right when you get to Ganon, you're about ready to swing, your stream cuts, and it had to be refreshed. And so we're like, dude, the ultimate pause buffer, and then we're like, but did he kill Ganon? Because you got me. And we're like, wait, did he actually kill Ganon? What's going on here?
And we're both saying to each other, the only way he could have killed Ganon is if it's 0 HP, and they're like, but was the stream down enough time? We would have caught the end of the Triforce pickup, right? We had no idea if he had killed Ganon or not. It wasn't until Matrick killed Ganon that we're like, oh, so he did kill Ganon. Okay, so what was north of Ganon? We had no idea.
It was a one-way door, I can tell you that, and I wasn't going through it.
Yep, I wasn't going through it either.
Yeah, it'd have been interesting if she was at the end of that, or, you've got the loop where you come out where the normal the soul room is, where both of you had no chance with the blue wizards there. That is so brutal. It's one tile, and they all 3 shot at you at once. But you've got that whole loop there too that could have been, and with Saber having almost no keys and having gotten most of the keys in 9 at that point, it was like, oh man, what if he has to go through that key loop and he doesn't have enough keys? But
Ooh, yeah. I think that's where I was heading until I got the compass, right?
I think
so.
Getting close, yeah.
I'll be completely honest, Ganon almost got away because I wasn't ready for him when I walked in there. Then I stab him, and I'm like, select, quick, switch to the arrows!
I did the same thing. He spun like really close to me. I'm like, okay, I have to move a little bit to the left and up. Okay, I move a little left and up. Crap, I didn't hit him. Run! Get the recorder out. Run!
Right, and that's what we're saying. Like, you went and you had to you've been pause buffering, and we're like, okay, is he just sitting there on pause trying to decide what to do? And then we're like, you're in the next room, and we're like, what happened?
It's a new pause glitch.
He bombed and ran!
You scroll to next room.
Dies.
Oh well, good race.
Yeah, very good race.
Honestly, I'm not even sad that I lost that because I was in Zelda's room before you got done, and so I thought to myself at that point, okay, all right, I'm okay with this. I'm not even like I was laughing the whole time I was going through 9 looking for Zelda. I was laughing out loud.
Yeah, and when we realized that Ganon was there, Saber had gotten into 9 a couple of minutes ahead of you, but we're like, oh my gosh, Matrick could just go a different direction and win this straight up.
Yep, that's what I was thinking.
It totally went from, okay, well, Saber's got this, because Saber in this kind of seed, is the worst person to pull, and I'm sure you know that, Matrick, because he just... Vanilla is his jam, and all of a sudden it just, went out the window, because he was in Ganon's room before you ever even... killing Ganon before you ever even entered 9, and then we're like, oh god, this can totally go the other way. And so, I don't know, it was a fantastic race by both.
I was praying for shapes before this seed started.
I think you jinxed it when you put it
Not
in the
only did you
schedule.
not get
Shapes.
shapes, you got about as opposite as you could get.
No kidding. And it's funny because we've been talking about this amongst my friends and everything. We all said the same thing. If this is a vanilla seed, you're in real trouble, dude. Yeah, I'm aware that I'm going to be in a lot of trouble.
But my experience with the second quest, the overworld, isn't that great. So you still had a chance.
I'll tell you what, I actually had just done, not too long ago, I think it was about a week ago, I did a race against Dragon Dark, and it was a second quest overworld. And I'm going, I can't find the last dungeon. I can't find it anywhere. Where is it, dude?
At least you didn't have to worry about the magical sword this time around.
Shut up, Genos.
But moving on here, we've got Saber now in the 2-1 bracket. It guarantees you be in the play-in race no matter what. And Matrick, you're kind of do or die on your next race, depending on who you pull here. It could be difficult, but you need to win your next match to get into that play-in race.
Yep.
But you're extremely skilled, so I have no doubt that you can do it. You just, unfortunately, as we were saying in the commentary, you've been pulling really good racers, but not only that, they get the seed that's kind of like their element for what kind of seed they need to play. And it's just been a little bit unfortunate.
Yeah, I'm not I don't even care. When the first race came up and it was against Dragon Dark, I said it's going to be the most fair match of the entire race, of the entire thing. And then when I pulled the next round, I went, okay, I don't know anything about this guy. I'll just go into it whatever. And then when I pulled Saber, I was like, man, all right, got my work cut out for me this time.
Please give me shapes.
Yeah, oh no, shapes. Also, too, when it was normal start location and I walked in and got the sword, I said, "Oh man, that was what started it." And then I found level 3 right away and saw it was completely normal, and I went, "Oh,
yeah,
run! Just run, dude! Don't stop!
Just go!" Yeah, I mean the wrench I think for both of you was that it was second overworld, which really screwed up the routing for it. And then, the level 9, that's got to be one of the highlights of the tourney. That is so good. It's so good.
Yeah. When you guys walked into that gathering room, you could see the on your face. It was just, you could see it in the link. It's like,
yeah, I mean, neither of you have cans, and we're like, yep, that's a what face.
The fact that it was completely vanilla up to that point was just a total, huh?
Even the
Yeah.
cannon sound. Even that sound.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because there was no indication there was going to be anything out of the ordinary until you get in there, and it just went, oh, okay,
Yeah.
this is happening. And then, honestly, it didn't even click that she wasn't going to be in her room. I hadn't even processed it until I walked into her room. And then the other thing that should have cued me off is when I went into the room with the Orange Land Mullahs, I was like, the door didn't open. That's a weird troll. And then I killed him and walked up, and then that's when it finally hit me. No!
Yep, it's so good. But, well, anyways, thank you, gentlemen, for dropping in here for an interview. Again, this was a fantastic race to call. I'm going to go take like a 10-minute break before this next race that I have to call between Dig Shake and Fred, so stick around for that match. It's going to be awesome. But again, thank you guys. It was a blast commentating this, and congratulations to both of you on a fantastic seat.
Thank you, GG Saver.
GG, Mantrick.